Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Greta.
Now for more of your interview with Casey Anthony's parents. The last time either of Casey's parents saw little Kaylee was Monday, June 16th, the day after Father's Day. For the next month, Casey's parents say they saw Casey, the child's mother, only one time. They never saw their granddaughter, Caylee. On July 15th, Cindy Anthony, the grandmother, finally tracks down Casey. But little Caylee is not with her mother. By this time, Cindy realizes that her daughter is not being honest about where little Caylee is. Cindy finally decides if she can't get the truth out of Casey, maybe the police can. Cindy then drives her daughter Casey to the sheriff's office. When you were driving around, I take it you said, where's my granddaughter?
Yeah, I asked her where Kaylee was at.
And she
told me that, again, immediately that she was with the babysitter. And she said, Mom, we could go pick her up tomorrow. And I said, I'm not waiting another day to see her. I said, you're obviously not where you said you were, and, you know, I'm not a believer right now that Kaylee's where you're saying she is. And she maintained that she was with the sitter and that she was safe. And I said, well, that's not a good enough answer. And we drove around for a while, and when I didn't get the answers that I wanted, I said, well, if I can't get you to tell me where she's at. And at this time, we weren't yelling, screaming, anything. It was still very calm conversation. I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to just drive to the police station. So I drove to Orlando Police Station, which was close to our home. And it was after 5:30. I didn't know they closed their doors at 5:30. So I sat in the parking lot, and I said, well, you know, I don't know what else to do. I said, I'm going to call 911, and she said, go ahead, Mom, you can call.
Hi, I drove to the police department here on Pershing, but you guys are closed. I need to bring someone into the police department. Can you tell me where I can, the closest one I can come into?
What are you trying to accomplish by bringing them to the station?
I have a 22-year-old person that has grand theft sitting in my auto with me.
So the 22-year-old person stole something?
Yes.
Is this a relative?
Yes.
Where did they steal it from?
My car and also money.
Okay, is this your son?
Daughter.
Okay, so your daughter stole money from your car?
No, my car was stolen. We've retrieved it today. We found out where it was at. I've retrieved it. I've got that, and I've got affidavit for my banking account. I want to bring her in.
Again, they didn't know which jurisdiction I was in because I was sitting outside of the police department. So I figured, this is crazy. You know, you don't know what to tell the police when you're not sure what to tell the police. So I decided to drive her back to the house. And I didn't realize my son was there waiting for me, and I'm glad Lee was here when I got here.
Did you ask her why she had lied to you and said she was in Jacksonville when she was at
You know what? That wasn't even an issue. It wasn't even an issue. My issue was, where's Caylee? And from that point on, that's what my issue's been, where's Caylee? I didn't care her explanation. I didn't care where she said she was at. My focus was in tell me where Kaylee's at or take me to where Kaylee's at. And she assured me that by the morning that I would probably be able to see Caylee. I wasn't assured of that. So Lee and I spoke with her for 45 minutes to an hour, probably before I made that second 911 call.
911, what's the address? What's happening? I have someone here that I need to be arrested in my home.
They're there right now?
I have a possible missing child. I have a 3-year-old that's been missing for a month.
A 3-year-old?
Yes.
Have you reported that?
I'm trying to do that now, ma'am.
Everybody has an opinion about this case. We want to know yours. Go to GretaWire.com and answer this poll question for your on-the-record live vote. What makes you more suspicious of Caylee's mother? You have 3 choices. First one is what I know about the timeline. The second one is the mother's behavior. Or your third choice is that you're not suspicious of the mother. We're going to read your results at the end of the hour. And coming up, there's more. Continuing now with little Caylee's grandparents. Cindy Anthony, the grandmother, calls 911 3 times on July 15th. By the 3rd call, she's frantic and realizes her granddaughter Caylee is missing. There was a 3rd 911 call.
Right.
When was that?
Well, after I had made the first 911 call, Lee had stayed in Casey's room, and I let those guys stay together because I was frustrated. I was pacing. I was in the living room pacing. I went outside, back and forth, and it was almost an hour because when I made the second 911 call, the young lady on the dispatcher said she didn't know when they'd come. They'd come whenever they had a chance. So to me, they could come 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. And, you know, every minute that went by, I just felt more and more frustrated, agitated, not knowing what was going on. I had just walked in from outside, and it was almost, you know, almost an hour that had passed since I made the first 911 call. And I heard Casey crying, and I heard her telling her brother. Last I knew, she was sitting on her bed. Next thing I knew, when she was telling her brother, and I got to her doorway, she was on the floor crying. And I heard her words say that Caylee had been kidnapped. And when I heard those words, I lost it. I went hysterical. And I can't remember what I said to her, but the first words out of my mouth is, "Why the heck didn't you tell us? Why didn't you report it?" And she said that she couldn't, that she was afraid for Caylee's life. And when she said that, I panicked and I called 911 again. I didn't panic. I knew I needed them now. I didn't want them an hour from now. I didn't want them 10 minutes from now. I wanted them to walk through that door right now.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago. The deputy sheriff saying I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. Her mother finally admitted that she's been missing.
Okay, what is
here now?
Okay, what is the address that you're calling from?
We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her.
Your daughter admitted that the baby is where?
The babysitter took her a month ago that my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. And she just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Police arrived, and how long were they here?
They were here all night and all
night,
morning.
All night? I mean, like really
Until about 5:30 in the morning?
Yeah, about 5:30 in the morning. Was it 5:30? Actually, no, they brought her back around 7 in the morning.
They left here at 5:30 and they brought her back at
Yeah.
Wait a minute, they left here at 5:30 with Casey?
Yeah, so they were here all night, and there were multiple deputies here all night. I mean, there was
5
at
initially?
least 5 different ones.
And the detective didn't arrive till about 3:30.
Yeah, I mean, it was an all-night. I can't tell you how many people were here. I wish I'd have gotten everybody's cards. I remember what they all looked like, but we were all split up immediately once they got to the door. I think 2 officers arrived first in one car, and then immediately there was 3 or 4 cars. Total, there was at least 5 or 6 different cars through the night, and different people. I mean, different people talked to her. At least 4 or 5 different officers took her statements, pulled her aside, grilled her, took our statements. I mean, it was an all-night thing. We were outside, we were inside. It was very rare that we were together, and they didn't want Casey with any one of us for any period of time. George and I could be together, Lee and I could be together. The 3 of us could be together, but they pretty much wanted Casey to themselves.
Coming up, Casey Anthony, the mother, as a